I'm going to attempt to 100% complete Assassin's Creed Shadows by unlocking all 54 achievements in the game. But it's not going to be easy. I mean, look how many objectives there are, and check out the size of this map. This one's going to be a doozy. And all of this is filled with achievements that less than 4% of players have actually unlocked even months after the game's release.
Challenge accepted.
As always with these runs, the game plan is for Phase 1 to just complete the game for all the story-related achievements, have some fun, and unlock whatever other achievements we happen to get along the way. As I do appreciate just getting lost in an Assassin's Creed game, I look forward to this part. Then Phase 2, the cleanup. Now, as much as I love Assassin's Creed, this is still a Ubisoft game, and it's no stranger to the Ubisoft side activity bonanza, so whatever collectibles or side quest lines we have to complete, we'll do here. By then, Phase 3, we should have everything available to max out all skills and whatever else is needed to cap off the run. And with that out of the way, we have quite the journey ahead of us as we embark on the path that will shape the fate of the nation. Our journey begins in 1500s Japan, where we get a bit of a backstory about one of the main protagonists, Yasuke. But then we're quickly brought back into the Animus as the memory is corrupt. And if you're not familiar with Assassin's Creed and this sounds insane, it is. And we'll talk more about it later. Fast forward 6 months into Yasuke's life, and we witness the horrors of pillaging a village, but our duty is to go along with it, and we start taking out those defending it. Thus unlocking our very first achievement of the run, Adept Samurai, for performing our first finisher as Yasuke.
Yes!
After clearing out the shinobi of the village, we meet up with the Lord Nobunaga, whose command we are under, which then introduces us to our next protagonist, Naoe, who survived the events of the pillaging and who is entrusted with a certain key that leads to a box that cannot be taken.
Inside this very box is the most secrety secret in all of secretdom.
Entrusted with this blade, we make our way to the Kofun where the box is held. This is where the game introduces us to Naoe's playstyle, and I have to be honest, her stealth and parkour feels really nice just off this little tutorial area, and I'm excited to see how this plays out in the open world. Nonetheless, we perform our first assassination and unlock Adept Shinobi. We make it to the cave with this mysterious box, but unfortunately not quick enough, and the samurai end up taking it.
With this, we rewrite our history.
It's just a string.
A secret string!
After getting healed up by Tomiko, we're set out on a path of vengeance to retrieve this box and our life back. We get word that it could be up at a nearby castle, and upon entering, we unlock the Unseen achievement for taking out 5 enemies in a row without initiating combat. After taking in the view of the castle we just soloed, we escape with the box until... And now the plot thickens as another faction is interested in the box. Man, what the is in this thing? As we're left to die, Nagato bites the dust, and we're left on our own with nothing except a cryptic message. Follow the blade. Prologue complete. Act 1 kicks off as we recover from our wounds and regain our strength, both physically and mentally. And here is where the game officially opens up, where our path of vengeance to save our nation begins. However, we won't be able to do this alone, and in order to have allies, they'll need a place to stay. And we're given the hideout, which will come into play for a few achievements, as well as some in-game bonuses. And with that, achievement number 5, Soul Sanctum, unlocked. Within our hideout is a painted portrait of everyone that we have to exact our revenge on, which is a pretty cool way of showing off the bosses of the game. A deeper look reveals the entirety of the Onryo, the masked group that stole our goods and iced Nagato. En route to the first of the group, we sent a scout to check out the area first for scouting mission. As we start gathering clues and intel on the first boss's whereabouts, we get the Warrior Monk achievement for meeting Yaya. Upon nightfall, it was time to storm the castle and game end Wade Koritake. En route to gaining some clues on our next target, I take a second to relive the glory days of Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Then meeting up with a local tea merchant for some more information and who will get us into the local tea ceremony so we can schmooze our way into the home of the Golden Teppo, our next target, taking her out and bringing us one step closer to vengeance. But it was time to go back to the hideout, and by this point I had quite a few materials and upgrades, so I built the forge, which will have some achievements tied to it later. After walking outside of the forge, I noticed a waterfall in the back of the hideout, and like any pro gamer should, I had to go check behind for some loot, which actually unlocks the Made You Look achievement. Very nice, Ubisoft. Very nice. In the meantime, we make progress to taking down Lord Nobunaga, and this is where the two protagonists finally meet each other, as Yasuke aims to protect the leader. However, Nobunaga realizes he's a failure and surrenders. Naoe escapes, and Yasuke has some life decisions to make. A little while later, and Naoe is surrounded by enemy soldiers, but we switch off to Yasuke, who actually wants to speak with Naoe about the blade she has, and if he may walk beside her on her path. And with that, we conclude Act 1 and unlock a new League Rises. Act 2 picks up right where we left off, as Naoe now has some allies assisting her on her path, and it was time to gather up more clues about our next target. Along the way, we have a showdown with an Oni named Genojo because he stole a letter we need, and after showcasing our prowess, we got the letter and the thief achievement. As most Ubisoft games do, there are a bunch of side quests and mini games strewn throughout the AC Shadows world, and one of them is Yasuke's Dance Dance Revolution Samurai Edition, called Kata, and for completing the first one, we get good form. We found ourselves trying to get through an enemy camp that were a little too high leveled and one-shotting me, so the only thing we could do was escape. And once breaking their line of sight, we hit the deck in a pond and used the breathing reed to hide. Unlocking reading is fundamental. Honestly, a pretty sick way to finally use the new stealth mechanic. Along the way, I was tasked with wiping out an entire bloodline called the Twisted Tree, and after game ending the last of the Cruel Clan, we keep the streets of Kyoto safe and earn the Mortal Reminder achievement. We get all the intel we need to storm Sadaoke Castle, and you start the mission as Yasuke, who has access to a bow. I figured this would be a perfect time to take it back to 2011 and shoot this guard in the knee.
I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
For the Adventurer achievement. Again, another kind of tongue-in-cheek achievement for this run, and I always appreciate these. While continuing to play as Yasuke, I noticed a hay bale, so why not attempt a Leap of Faith and unlock Leap of Fail? Probably not as cool as it could have been, so let's pretend this one I did a short while later is what actually unlocked the achievement. But at this point, we've just been brute forcing our way through the story, avoiding all side quests and activities for the most part, and we're pretty underleveled. And with how much I was dying, I figured it would be quicker to just level up properly instead of constantly reloading checkpoints. Through that, I was able to recruit an ally for the Build Your League achievement. Finally leveled up, and with better gear, we continue on, and we get the story achievement, the Sharpshooter, for meeting Katsuhime. Shortly after that, another Shinbakufu off the list, and we have 7 left, and it's right back to the grind of taking these people out one at a time. Along the way, I found a perfect opportunity to assassinate an enemy through a shoji door for the Master Shinobi achievement. After a bit more grinding away at side quests, I had unlocked a whole new tier of upgrades, which allowed me to unlock the Shinobi Bell. And by using this one on one unsuspecting victim 3 times,
What an idiot!
we unlocked Just Your Shadow. By this point, I had also saved up quite a few legendary gear pieces, and after equipping all of them, we unlocked Better Than a Bucket. And shortly thereafter, we're able to unlock some more upgrades with Naoe, one of those being the Egan Roll, and after unlocking it, I find the perfect place to try out my new move, unlocking Sometimes. It was now time to take out the Noble, another member of the Shinbakufu, and I'll be honest, this was kind of insane. I was so underleveled that he one-shot me no matter what, plus all his homeboys roll in to help him out, and with the checkpoint, I'm trapped in this room forever. Over and over and over again, getting one shot by this dude, but finally, after what felt like 30 attempts, the next target is taken out. Along the way to game end the next Shinbakufu, I got jumped by a bunch of jabronis, and when I went to parry one of them, an arrow was about to hit me at the exact same time, and I parried it instead, unlocking Master Samurai. Nice. Another target down, 3 more to go. After a showdown in the garden with the next Shinbakufu, we give him the fate of his comrades, thus completing Act 2 of the main story and unlocking an Oath Fulfilled. But let's keep the achievements rolling because it has been a ton of story grinding up to this point. First, we upgraded our forge at the hideout, which will be important for an achievement later, but for now, it lets us add an engraving to our weapons, which is basically an additional perk. And there's actually like hundreds of them, which is pretty cool to see. But for our first engraving, we unlock Make It Personal. Now, heading back to one of the starting areas of the game, we can actually pick up 2 more achievements for doing the Cave Diver TikTok trend. In this Kofun, we cosplay as Spider-Man and unlock Hook, Line, and Swinger. And right after that, we cosplay as Indiana Jones and grab the loot in this cave to unlock Kofun Raider. I wasn't quite done pretending to be Spider-Man yet though, so one more achievement, Acrobatics, for grappling into a Leap of Faith. Alright, enough Spider-Man.
See ya.
I'll be honest, that felt great to just burn through a few achievements after sitting here and literally grinding the story for 25 plus hours. But alas, we have Act 3 to complete. And speaking of Act 3, we actually just get right to it with the siege of the second to last Shinbakufu's castle. What was sick for this fight is you actually play as both Yasuke and Naoe, utilizing the samurai to take out his armor and the shinobi for the final touch. With him down, there's only one target left on our path to vengeance. Turns out the final member was awaiting our arrival with the legendary box we've been on the hunt for this whole time. And with with that, the entire Shimbakufu clan has been defeated, and we unlock Death Blossom. However, though we got what we were looking for, this ending just creates a brand new beginning. By this point now, we had leveled up a bunch and had accumulated tons of legendary gear, but we still haven't found a legendary Teppo for Yasuke needed to complete the achievement. But as I'm clearing out objectives, I noticed there's a target for Yasuke that rewards legendary Teppo, and we finally get Limitless. No, not that one. Furthermore, if we attack a castle as Naoe and let this idiot ring a bell as if it will save him from a trained assassin, it spawns in a guardian. And if we disappear for a bit, we can end up assassinating the guardian for Giant Slayer, officially getting us to 30 out of 54 achievements. Along the way, I was looking at the map to see what quest to do next, and I noticed something called the tournament. But it's not just any tournament, it's a tournament of combat. Becoming the protector of Earthrealm or the protector of Gyoshi's temple. Anyway, test your might unlocked. Actually, a very cool achievement and side quest, Ubisoft. Well done. After hunting down clues about the assassins, we fulfill the promise made to Naoe's father by returning the jewel to its rightful place. What's cool is Naoe's personal journey brings you through the assassin's lore, and Yasuke's journey goes through some of the Templar stuff. So if you're into the lore of older Assassin's Creed games, especially this part, it's actually pretty cool. On our way to wiping out some more Templars, I noticed this temple we're at happens to be pretty high up on a mountain, and I thought it would be a perfect opportunity to live out one of my favorite movie scenes and Spartan kick an unsuspecting guard to their demise.
This is Sparta!
Oh wait, wrong civilization. This is Japan, actually. Our travels lead us to the 9th and final province of the game, Tamba, unlocking the Pathfinder achievement. But now, some mission cleanup leads us right to the end of Act 3, where we officially all unite under one banner, and we net ourselves the fall of the Shimbakufu achievement. A few more cutscenes to go through, and after that, we officially unlock the final story achievement, Epilogue, and earn ourselves some well-deserved rest. Is what I would say if we still didn't have 19 achievements left full of patented Ubisoft side activities, so let's get started. First, there's 3 achievements for meeting specific people in this world: Toxin Master, the Eager Assassin, and the Ronin. And to celebrate pretty much finishing up all of the story achievements in the game, it was time for me to go to my happy place, and that is the highest point of a map in literally any open world game ever. And fittingly enough, we unlock Happy Place for doing just that. After taking some time to appreciate the vastness of this snow-covered map and getting some quality thinking time in, we have to get back to work. And by work, I mean a hardcore session of Dance Dance Revolution, because there's 22 of these Kujikiris that you need to complete with Naoe. After what felt like hours of this, we finally get to the last one, number 22, and become the Zen Master. I'll be honest though, there's nothing Zen about how I felt doing this. But now it was time to complete the contracts, and within the 9 provinces are a ton of these fetch/target style missions, but thankfully we only had to do 1 in each of the provinces for the Would You Kindly achievement. But through doing all these contracts, we got awarded with a ton of building materials, which is just what we needed to upgrade the forge up to level 3 to unlock Against Wood and Stone. Next up, we have to make a dojo and level it all the way up so that we can fully train one of our allies to veteran rank and unlock Front of the Pack. If we build the last of the main buildings needed, the study, we can put one of these paintings on the wall for the Chase the Morning achievement. But we're not quite done with the hideout just yet, because now we have to build an animal. No, literally, to adopt a pet for your hideout, you have to drop them in from build mode. But hey, everybody benefits. After finding 7 specific vendors around the map, I can return to this guy and give him the full collection of tea bowls. Collector complete. Now to the fully maxed part. Both Yasuke and Naoe have 6 different skill trees that require mastery points, but Assassin's Creed makes it really easy to just unassign and assign these, and we can get In Case of Trouble for maxing out Naoe's tools. Now the next 3 fully upgraded achievements require a bit more than just unassigning and assigning. We have to max out Naoe's Shinobi skill tree and Yasuke's Samurai skill tree, but some of these are locked behind completing very specific side quest storylines. And as I had mentioned before, I did barely any of these during the main story portion of the run, so these achievements took some time. However, finally, after what felt like hours and hours, we finished the quest lines we needed and unlocked Art of Kenjutsu and Art of Ninjutsu. Oh yeah, and along the way of doing Naoe's quest lines, I unlocked Over Design 3 for game ending an enemy that is both poisoned and dazed, and it looks like I literally just got this one frame perfect. But thankfully, the hideout is finally done and Suit Yourself is unlocked. Wrapping up 2 quick Yasuke combat achievements with Unstoppable and Final Hearing. And now, with 53 out of the 54 achievements, it was time to grow old through the seasons and complete our journey. A perfect way to cap off this life. Just enjoy nature and paint some majestic animals. After 5 of these, we unlock a rare occurrence, which didn't even pop for me, thanks Ubisoft, and we have now 100% completed Assassin's Creed Shadows. Oh yeah, remember at the beginning of the video I said we'll hear more about the Animus later on? Yeah, well they literally never bring it up again in this game.